Happy Monday. Welcome, welcome. It is that time again. It's really not Monday. It's really not because it's a holiday. So for a lot of people, this is still Sunday. But so glad those of you I see showing up in the chat over here are able to make it live. For us that resell, this is a no shipping day. Although we got crazy shipping going on right now, getting everything packaged up to get out tomorrow. But hey, how is everyone? If this is your first time, we do this every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and we talk about something to do with reselling. Today, we are going to talk about all things shipping, like all things shipping, because shipping is one of those things. Number one, it causes people not to jump into selling online. Number two, it causes people to lose money when they do sell online. And number three, it just drives some people crazy. So we're going to hope to dispel the things that are causing any of the problems for you with shipping. So there we go. Hello. I got some people from Facebook. I'm streaming this also on my Facebook page. So welcome to you who are watching this on Facebook. Thank you so much. Okay, I really feel I'm like ready for a nap today. Anybody just ready for a nap today? just we worked out on my processing area this morning, and it was a little warm, but kind of kept pushing because we were way behind on stuff. So spent a few hours out in the sun this morning, not really in the sun, but in the heat. And now I just want a big old nap. I just want a big old nap. Ooh, some of you already had one. I am jealous. I'm jealous. I don't know, naps just like they just mess up my whole day. Because if I take a nap, take that off there. If I take a nap, then I'm just like messed up for the rest of the day. So I fight it. Then I just go to bed early. Oh, you guys are already talking about box in a bag. We are going to cover box in a bag today. We're going to cover it. I wish I had an example to show you, but we are going to cover it for sure. All right, so let's jump in. So first, let me ask to those of you, well, I can ask both. To those of you who are here live with me, and also if you're watching on the replay, you'll be able to leave it down in the comments. If you're here live, you can put it over in our live chat. But what if you had to pick one thing about shipping, what is the most confusing thing about shipping? And then let's see if we can untangle it for you. But what is the most confusing thing about shipping for you? I have been doing this for 24 years. I'm like trying to do the math. 21, 22, 23. Yeah, I'm in my 24th year. So for me, the shipping just really, I've been doing it so long. It's hard for me to think about it being complicated because I've got it all kind of figured out. And so I'm trying to take what's in here and remove it and hand it in a easy to understand form to all of you guys. Okay, let me go see here on the comments what you guys are saying. How to estimate shipping prior to actually selling an item if you're not pre-boxing. Oh, we got that one. That's an easy one. What to charge or how to charge. Got it. International. Okay. Do you need a corporate account for pirate ship? No. What qualifies for you? Oh, I'm excited because I can help you with a lot of these. International shipping, not GSP, is confusing. Okay, so I'm going to go to how to make it cheaper for the customer. I'm going to go to some very basic stuff first, and then we'll work our way to the more complicated stuff. How to ship perfume or jewelry. Got it. Jewelry is what is getting shipped right now for us today. Lots of jewelry getting shipped. Okay, so let me first just talk, because I have questions that come up in my Facebook group, the Niche to Profit. Sorry, guys. Niche to Profit on eBay, Etsy, and more, where it's all about reselling. So if you're not in that group, come join us over there. We talk about this stuff all the time. For those of you wondering why I keep looking over here when I'm talking, that's where the chat is. So hang on, I got to grab some stuff down here that I have on the floor. All right, let's go. All right, let's go some basic materials here first. I love me some bubble wrap. So bubble wrap comes in, actually, I think it comes in 3 different size of bubbles. But here's what I use. This is what I'll refer to as small bubble. And you can see the bubbles are very tight together there. I have this came off of my 24-inch by 12-inch roll, meaning it's 12 inches this way and 24 inches this way. I like this size for making big 24 by 24-inch squares for larger items. I also have 12 by 12, which looks like, you know, the squares come off like this, and that handles a lot of stuff too. I also use the big bubble. And the reason I don't use big bubble by itself is big bubble has big spaces in between the bubbles. So you have to use a lot of it in order for your item to be fully protected. So the way I do a fragile item is I do small bubble first, and then I do big bubble over it so that I'm not using more of the big bubble than I have to, because it's more expensive. And that's something you have to keep in mind about your shipping materials, is knowing what the cost of those shipping materials is on top of everything else. Everybody talks about fees as like one of the concerning expenses, but your shipping materials is also an expense that you have to keep track of. Because if you sell a $5 item, I see that question, Rag 1602, I will address that. If you sell an item for $5 and then you spend $1 worth of shipping materials, you're not really making any money. So it is important. I haven't done it lately because the cost just went up, but I had it down to where I knew each sheet of bubble wrap of the 12 by 12 cost me, I think, 12 cents. The large bubble cost me about 27 cents. I had it all broke out. I knew exactly what the cost of each package was. And it's a really good thing to know as you get more serious about making this your actual business, your actual income. For me, it's full time. Like, this is it. This is what I do for a living. So I want to know what the cost of the package I'm sending out is. And you also, now you don't have to do it by the sheet, but you get to write off all of the cost of all those shipping materials. So you write those off, but you have to know what goes into it. I have watched a lot of Marcus Lemonis. Anybody watch The Profit? That's the name of his show, The Profit, and it's Marcus Lemonis, and he goes into a lot of these businesses that are kind of in trouble, and he turns them around. And one of the things he's always asking is, like, you know, and showing in charts and things, is like, what is that cost? What is that cost of doing that business? So you have to know. And so if you're using like a ton of bubble wrap just because you like to use a lot of bubble wrap, you need to know how much is that costing you versus doing just enough bubble wrap to make the item secure and then using a lower cost shipping material around it. Some people like paper, and I personally, I use peanuts. I'm a big fan of styrofoam peanuts, and I will tell you why. That is because for the last 30 years, that's what I've used, and it has served me very, very well. And I ship a lot of extremely breakable and expensive glass items. So we have a saying of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the fact that that has worked so well for me for so many years, I am very, very hesitant to change that. And the reason is that styrofoam has give. It absorbs shock. Paper is not going to absorb shock. So you have to keep that in mind. So you have to use more of your bubble wrap. You have to use more of something that is shock absorbing if you're going to use paper as your filler. So, you know, you just have to weigh the difference there. And peanuts are incredibly inexpensive too. So bubble in or out. So that question, I've seen it a couple times. Bubbles in. Bubbles in is the correct way to use the bubble wrap. And that is according to the manufacturers of bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is actually a trademarked name. So technically this is, what do they call it when it's not bubble wrap? I forget, but they don't call it bubble. They don't officially call it bubble wrap unless it actually is bubble wrap. Can you get them wholesale? I do get them wholesale. I absolutely get them wholesale. I get this question a lot. Where do I get my packing supplies? I get my packing supplies from a company called Miller Supply. That is, they service Nevada, Southern Nevada, Utah, I believe Utah, and some of California. So they are air cushioning. Thank you. They are a local company to me, but you can find these companies that are local to you as well. If you're willing to buy in big amounts, they want to do business with you. In fact, the guy who owns Miller Supply tried to get me to be a distributor for him, which I don't have room to do that. So, but then I said, no, can you just give my people that go to you that are local a really good deal like you give me? And he goes, okay. So, so several of you have used Miller Supply because I got him to make that deal because I put his truck in my videos sometimes. So yeah, so I buy the bubble cushioning in a 750-foot roll, and it's big. So you got to have room to store those suckers. And I get usually, I get at least four at a time because I'm buying different sizes. And then the packing peanuts come in a 20 cubic inch. Must be cubic. I don't know. A big bag. I don't even know how it's 20 cubic. It's got to be inches. Anyway, it's a great big giant bag of packing peanuts also. And I get those for like 20 bucks for a humongous bag of peanuts. If you get a lot of free and found shipping supplies, can we still write off the value? No. So, and I don't want to get too much into accounting, but if you get something for free, you've got no expense. You've got no cost to write off. So nope, that's just, you just don't have to put out the money. Yeah, be careful with used supplies. Make sure they are clean and nice and make a good representation to your customer. Also, the bubble, the air cushioning will deflate. So if it's been sitting around a while, you have to be careful of its effectiveness as well. Make sure you're using materials that are going to hold up. It's why I'm not a fan of the big air pillows like what Amazon uses, because anybody ever taken a balloon up in an airplane? Probably not. I'm not sure they'd allow it. We found this out in a big way. We had taken the kids to Disneyland and they had the big helium balloons. And when we were going over the pass, which it's a little over, I think it goes up to like 5,000 feet to come over the pass and come back into the Las Vegas Valley. And the balloons literally went because air changes in elevation. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the air pillows, because they can shrink a bit. And if they shrink a bit, then your item is going to be moving around. And if your item is moving around, there's a likelihood that it could break. So the trick on this fragile stuff is to pack whatever you're using around it in a way that it can't budge. You don't want any movement in the package. Okay. All right. So that's the packaging materials. Now let's talk boxes and bags and all of the different, because there's a lingo to this stuff. So let's start with padded mailers. Anybody use padded mailers? I love padded envelopes. eBay sells these. I get them if you have an eBay store that's above a basic or above. So not a starter store, but a basic, a premium, or an anchor store. You get a shipping materials coupon to use each quarter. And this is the stuff that I buy. I buy the eBay branded padded envelopes, and they come in all different sizes. And basically they're like built-in bubble wrap. But you still want to bubble wrap. You still want to, whatever the item is that you're shipping, you still want to package it to go into these. So keep that in mind. These are just a way to, if something's not breakable, and it can easily fit into one of these and can go first class. And we're going to talk about the difference between first class and priority. These are great. All right. And then you have poly envelopes. So this is a poly envelope, and it has no padding. So again, it's these are great for clothing, like textiles, things that just need to be kept clean and protected but are not breakable in any way. And they come in all different sizes. And the other thing about these, probably not this size, but let's talk about priority first. Then I'll come back to box in a bag. So this is also a poly envelope, but this is a specific flat rate envelope from the USPS. Costs about $8 to ship this with your commercial plus pricing. We'll talk about the price increase that's going to happen here in a very short time. But it's about $8. Whatever fits in this ships for the same price. So these are great for shipping, you know, like heavy amounts like jewelry, or you can even put like a book in these, you know, if you don't want to ship it media mail, which we'll talk about in a second. If it's an expensive book, if it's something you don't want it to take, you know, 3 weeks to get to the customer, these are great. You can put a box in these. There are certain sizes of boxes that will fit inside of these, and a lot of people, including myself, will ship mugs in one of these. I believe it's a 4 by 6 by something box will fit really nicely in this, and you can fit a coffee mug in it. The trick is to make sure the handle is like in the nice cushioned area of the envelope, you know, when the box is put in there, and it works. I wouldn't do anything super expensive. So priority mail, you will have flat rate boxes, and then you have the flat rate padded envelope. I use these a lot. I don't use flat rate boxes hardly ever. 4 by 4 by 6. Thank you, Rags. 4 by 4 by 6. I really can count, I think, on one hand the time I've used a flat rate box. Here's the thing. Brilliant marketing by the post office. The flat rate box was really intended for all of the consumers out there who have to ship a package, or they're not professional shippers. And if you're in this business, you're a professional shipper that gets discounts that the average person doesn't get. And It was just to make it easy. Here, put it in this box. This is what it costs. I see a lot of sellers using these boxes, not only for items for free shipping, which is really costing you, but also passing on that rate to their customers, and it could be costing you the sale. 9 times out of 10, your regular old priority mail rate is going to be a better option than flat rate. Flat rate is great if an item is, I think, around 4 pounds is when it starts to make a difference. Like I literally just got 20 pounds of jewelry sent to me in a flat rate box. That makes sense. But to ship a 2-pound item in a flat rate box is costing you. So I want to encourage you not to use the flat rate. If eBay is only showing you flat rate, oh, there's a little toggle on that. I'm going to show you. I think I can show the, okay, I'm going to show you this screen. I can't show you the whole screen because it's got customer info on it. Basically, I'm going to show you first what Seller Hub looks like. And if you have stuff that needs to be shipped, and then we'll go to the USPS stuff. So we can address that. Hold on, stand by. Here we go. All right, this is my Seller Hub. It's pretty sad right now because my eBay has gotten severely neglected. But here you go. On your task list, I won't click this because it'll take you to a page that will show you all of your orders that are waiting to be shipped. But it's right here on your tasks, print labels, and shipping. So I already got one here that I've kind of blown it up past the customer info. And this is what you see. You're going to see the service choices. Why is that so expensive? Holy moly. I must have been put in big dimensions. But you could see there's different things it's showing, like these regional rate boxes. Again, I rarely use them because they're smaller boxes. And while it's telling you that's the best rate, if the item you're shipping doesn't fit in it, it doesn't do any good to even show you that. Here's where you can compare all services. And you should be able to scroll down and see them all and all the costs. And I have UPS and FedEx and everything selected. I'm not sure why you are seeing just priority. There is a, I'm going to unshare that for just a second so I can look and see if there, I know there's a place, but it's not on here. You should be seeing all of the, oh, I know where it's at. Up at the top under package, there it is. Up at the top, I can't show it because my customer info is on this page, but it'll say ship your order, package. There's 2 selections. There's custom size and there's carrier packaging. So if you're only seeing flat rate prices, that's because you have carrier packaging selected. So just toggle over to custom size and then put in the weight and dimensions of your item if it's not already there. That's what it was. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of what your shipping thing looks like. So priority, and I get this question a lot. A priority shipment can go in any box other than a flat rate, because if you put it in a flat rate, you're going to have to ship it flat rate unless you modify the box. And we'll come back to that. So generally stay away from the flat rate boxes, but these are free. USPS boxes are free to order off the website. I use a lot of this one. This is known as the number 4. There's the dimensions right there on it. It's a 7 by 7 by 6. And the thing is, when you, whoa, come back to me. When you use the same types of boxes as opposed to, you know, dumpster diving for boxes and that kind of thing, you can know exactly what this box weighs. You can know exactly how much weight you need to add to your actual item's weight in order to put in an accurate weight and dimensions in your listing so that the shipping is calculated correctly. I believe last time I checked, this was about half a pound, not even, maybe 6-7 ounces on this box. So I add half a pound. That attributes to everything that gets added into the package. So there's these. But that has to go priority. If you use a priority box, it has to go priority. If you use a plain brown box, it can still go priority, or it can go first class or media mail or parcel or anything pretty much with a plain box. Here's the other box I use a lot of, and this one is known as their number 7 box. It is the 12 by 12 by 8. And this one weighs a little bit closer to a pound. So bigger box, but it's still lighter than most of the brown boxes that you will find out there. It is a lighter weight box. So I don't use these for super expensive glass items because they are a flimsier box. I go and use again, I order them from Miller Supply. Usually ship a glass item in a 12 by 12 by 12, which is the biggest size you can ship before it goes oversized. And I send it on its way. All right, let me see. I know you guys are talking over here. What happens if you underestimate shipping, yet shipping has already been charged to customer? That's a great question, Gail. So unfortunately, you have to honor the listing that you put out there. So if you underestimated the shipping, that's on you. It's kind of that degree in the experience degree, we'll call that. And I guarantee you it's the best way to learn, because you'll make sure you never do that again. But here's how you avoid running into problems. Here's the number one way that sellers get into trouble with underestimating shipping, and it isn't in the weight, it is in the dimensions. So if you have an item that is going to be packaged larger than 12 cubic inches, and what that means is a 12 by 12 by 12 box, or like a 12 by 14 by 10, or a 6 by 16 by 12, 14, I don't know, whatever that is, whatever it adds up, if the 3 dimensions add up to 36, or less, you're okay. If it's over that, you're going to go into oversized rates. You're going to go into dimensional weights, and that's where you can run into big problems. How do you order boxes from USPS? Is there a minimum or maximum? Let me pull up. I will share my screen in just a moment once I am logged in. So you create an account over at USPS.com. Let me share that. So you create your account so that you can sign in. Over here, shop, shipping supplies. Dun, 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 dun. And you want to go to free shipping supplies. Hello. Why won't you let me check you? Oh, they're already there. It's a little slower when it's sharing a screen. And here are all of your free shipping supplies. You can order any of these you want. Notice how they push the flat rate. They push the flat rate because it's good for them. It's really good for the post office. Oh, here's another one that I didn't talk about, shoe boxes. Shoe boxes are fantastic. I love shoe boxes. Usually order them in a pack of 10 or a pack of 25. And you can just order your little heart out. Now, if you don't want your mailman to hate you, I wouldn't go too crazy because they have to deliver these to you. I try to order when I can use about 4 batches at a time. So like 100 of a size at a time is what I like to order. But there are no minimums. And basically you just keep adding these to your cart and you check out and voila, they show up in about a week. It's a beautiful thing. When you shipped from work, you would mark the multiple boxes, box 1 of 2, box 2 of 2, etc. It's sometimes cheaper to send separate boxes. Sometimes, oh, for sure, if it's going to go oversized, you definitely want to look into splitting up whatever is going in that shipment. If you can get it into under 12 cubic inches, then a lot of times that's going to be a better option. Absolutely 100%. And the marking at 1 of 2, 2 of 2 is really good too, because then your customer knows that the rest of their order is in a different package. Yes. Is the shoebox flat rate? No, it's not. It's a regular rate. Okay, so let's talk about box in a bag. Everybody wants to talk about box in a bag, right? Box in a bag, it's amazing. It's too good. It's too good to be true, but it's true. Basically, now it is getting abused a little bit, and it's not being used the way intended. So let me tell you the way it's intended to be used and what you can do to make sure you're using it where it's not going to get flagged as, hey, we got a bunch of sellers doing this and we're going to have to crack down on it, kind of a thing. Basically, box in a bag is something that pirateship.com offers, and it's a cubic rate. So they're only taking into consideration 2 measurements, and it's the measurement of the bag you're using minus, the width. I don't understand. I just don't understand why we get to do this. But what I have heard is that it has to do with some new processing equipment that pulls these through a lot faster. It shortens the processing time, so they're encouraging it. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's fantastic. So basically, all box in a bag means is you're taking whatever this box is that you packaged up and you're putting it in a bag. I have used trash bags. Yes, I have. I'd like to use something a little stronger than your everyday average trash bag. But as long as you have a bag that's going to hold up to the shipping process, that's what you can use. Let me just give you a demo of how amazing the rate change is. Let me come back over here to Pirate Ship, which is where you can use the box in a bag. And Pirate Ship is free. It's free. You can import your eBay sales into Pirate Ship. It also stores the information from labels you've made. So when you go to ship a single label here, if you start typing a name that it recognizes you've done before, it pre-fills and puts it all in there. It's beautiful. I love Pirate Ship. All right, let's use a zip code. Who's over on the East Coast? I need an East Coast zip code. Somebody throw one at me. Somebody throw one at me. Let's have an East Coast zip code. I have to wait for the lag for you to hear what I just asked for. So that's why I sound like I'm bantering just a little bit. There we go. Thank you, Linda. We've got an 02888. So let's say I am shipping Linda a package, and I'm going to use the 12 by 12 by 8, which is the size of the USPS box. And let's say that package is 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Let's pull that up. There are my shipping rates. So this would cost $18.96 to ship. Now notice, if you go to the counter, it's going to cost you $23.60. Oh, that's my other big tip. Do not, and I repeat, do not go to the post office counter and pay for shipping. Ever. Don't ever do it. Don't do it. Even for eBay sales, if you don't have a printer, you can download a QR code and have it on your phone and show it to the post office, and they will print your label because you do not want to pay counter prices. All right, there's my little PSA for the day. Okay, so if I change this over to, notice it says envelope, padded envelope, poly bag, soft pack, or box in a bag. And it is measure and use the length and the width of the envelope before putting anything in it. Again, we're going to go with this. I'll show you why. It just took you down to $10.31. That's a $9 savings in shipping. $9 savings in shipping. Let's say the bag was, let's say it was 2 inches bigger. Let's just see what that does. Still brought it down to $13.25. All right. I can tell you the post office is not measuring the bag. They're not taking it apart. They're not making sure you put the exact correct size of the bag in here. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. But that is the humongous savings that box in a bag does, as you can see. Even that was like a $4 savings in shipping. You guys see how valuable that is? Now, exactly. Do not tape down the corner. Do not make it pretty. Keep it looking like a bag. This is the key. This is super important. And I've gotten a lot of packages because I know y'all want to make it pretty. It's kind of a little counterintuitive to not wanting corners or anything to get stuck in the equipment, but it should look like a bag. It should look like the box is in a bag. So do not tape down the corners. Keep those little pokey corners out there on your bag. And then you have box in a bag. Absolutely. And I know you say if it looks like a box, you'll be charged as a box. That hasn't happened. Knock on wood. Hasn't happened yet. But it's bound to start happening. It is bound to start happening. So be careful with that. Yep. An 8x4x4 fits inside. Oh, inside the padded flat rate. Yep. Yep. You notice that eBay doesn't always honor the PCM ship. I had an item the other day that could have been $11.69 on eBay, and it was $9 something on pirate ship as cubic mail. That's because eBay does not offer the cubic rate. The only place I have found to get that cubic rate is on pirate ship. And it is, I believe it is a deal that pirate ship has negotiated with the USPS. And it probably has to do with the fact that pirate ship is only USPS. Like they probably went in and said, hey, we're not going to offer any other shipping service. If you give us some sweet deals, we can pass on to our customers. It's kind of like there's retail, there's commercial pricing, and there's commercial plus pricing. And I believe the cubic then falls into a level that is up there with commercial plus pricing that commercial pricing doesn't get. And depending whether you're a top rated seller or not, eBay is not offering everybody the same shipping rates. And I will just say that too. So all the more reason to use pirate ship. Another really great reason to use pirate ship is unless you're a top rated seller, you don't get the $100 of insurance in your priority. Again, that's a commercial plus thing. You can get that on pirate. Pirate ship will give you that $100 of included insurance. But even better than that is if you have to add your own insurance, if you're shipping something that's over $100, the pirate ship insurance is amazing. It is cheaper than USPS insurance, and the claims process is so much easier. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. All right. All right. I forget what else I said I was going to circle back to. International. So let's go into international a little bit. So I will be honest, I am no longer offering international outside of global shipping program. And even then I'm having my doubts. And I will tell you why. It is because eBay has gotten so bad about standing behind sellers when it comes to returns. I do not offer international returns. You can do that. You can have a very generous return policy and say no returns on international. But eBay wants this business, and eBay doesn't get that if they want this business, they should probably stand behind some things a little better and put their money where their mouth is. Like, you can get me all going on the returns thing that I think they should do. So for that reason, I had a couple of international returns that really, really hurt. And it wasn't a return, it was a lost in the mail thing. And the insurance didn't pay because it had tracked to out of the country. I don't know, it was some weird circumstances. So I was out the merchandise and I was out the money. And for me as a business, I don't do enough international selling to even deal with that. So that's my reason. Depending what you sell, you may have to look at the risk versus reward of international. I used to love international sales. I don't anymore because international has become kind of crazy for shipping too. Yeah. The other thing you have to be careful with in selling international is that you're paying a fee on the exchange rate of the money too. So there are higher fees associated with selling international. So that's another, oh boy, I hope my mods are on it. Oh my goodness. Thank you, my amazing mods, for all that you do. I do still ship to Canada. I will still ship to Canada. But that is the only country that I'm comfortable shipping to. And even then, I've had things that haven't arrived and it's made me go, ah. So, yeah. Okay. So in this last 15 minutes, I want to make sure, especially those of you who showed up and have hung out with me here during this hour, that I get your questions answered. So what is still confusing? What questions have I not answered? Somebody asked me about shipping jewelry. So jewelry, bubble wrap. When you bubble wrap, make sure you tape the ends so the item does not fall out of the bubble wrap. That's super important. And then depending what it is, if it's high-end jewelry, it's going to go in a box and then in a padded mailer. But if it, is like costume jewelry or that kind of a thing, it'll go into just a padded mailer and ship first class. And I do add insurance because first class does not include any insurance. So I do add insurance through Pirate Ship when I ship. Can you use Pirate Ship when you are selling on eBay? Yes, it will import your eBay sales right into Pirate Ship. eBay asks questions about size and weight, determines the cost for the customer, then creates the shipping link. Yeah, Pirate Ship does all that. Just let me see if I can show it without giving any customer info. Yeah, I can't do it without giving customer info away, but I can show you. Something. So if I just toggle here, see how you can do a single label, you can upload a file, or you import from eBay. So you connect eBay with Pirate Ship. It will import those orders with all of the information, all the stuff that you've input into the listing comes right into Pirate Ship. It's a beautiful thing. That's how I do mine now, because with Pirate Ship, I get to use a credit card that I get points on versus if I just print the shipping label through eBay, I don't get to do that. I will do it out of my pending funds if I have pending funds, but a lot of times because I have 2-day handling, they've already sent out my payout, so I don't get to use pending funds. All right. On the listing, how do you figure shipping before you know who is going to buy it? You don't need to. Let me show you what it looks like when you're creating a listing. All you need to know is what your item weighs, and that's why I said kind of knowing the weights of your boxes and stuff. So let me. Okay, so this is on the listing page. This is where you put in your shipping details. I use calculated cost varies by buyer location. eBay figures this out for you. All you need to put in here is how is it going to be shipped. This is a large item. I just pulled up a draft. This is a large item, so I chose FedEx ground. But normally, my first choice is retail ground. And the reason I do that is because of the handling time. And then that also gives me the ability to use whatever I want to use for that. And then I'll usually put priority as the third one, and then I'll use, another thing here so that the customer, when they pull up the listing, they'll see different options. But it's going to calculate the shipping based on this one right here. And no, I don't do free shipping. No free shipping for this girl. It's not necessary anymore. Not necessary anymore. Nurse Flipper puts the item, a box, and a few pieces of bubble wrap on the scale to guesstimate and always overestimate. Yeah, but you don't need to do that. Like that, if that works for her, great. But I don't have time to do that for every item I'm listing. But I do know the box it's going to go in and how much that box weighs. And because you don't have to have it to the ounce, you just didn't need to know, is it between 1 and 2 pounds? Is it between 2 and 3 pounds? Is it between 3 and 4 pounds? That's all you need to know. And so if you're close, if you're thinking you're right at like that, 2 pounds, 15 ounces, doesn't hurt to make it 3 to 4 pounds to give yourself that little extra cushion. Yep. So yeah, I mean, and this weighs nothing. This doesn't even add an ounce to your package. So you just need to know the box and the item. The box and the item, and know whether it is going to be oversized or not. Let's see. Is shipping a mug in a corrugated box cheaper than box in a bag? Probably not. I don't know of too many mugs that are going to be under the 2 pound rate. And the 2 pound rate for just in a box by itself, unless it's going someplace very local to you, within like the first 3 zones, box in a bag is probably going to be better. Yeah. Do you have to purchase a mailing label machine when you sell on eBay? Oh, heavens, no. I, for years, I just printed out the label and taped it on. You can do that. You can tape a label on. I don't recommend that because there's such affordable options now in the area of label printers. Like I use the Rollo printer. The Rollo printer is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm telling you, it's like the initial expense of it is a couple $100, but the money it is going to save you, like in time alone, is mind-blowing. And I hate printers where you got to feed the paper through and get it right. No, this thing is like so plug and play. You slap the labels in there. Labels come in a little chunk like this. You put the first label in and boom, it's ready to go. It's that easy. And then you print those labels and you slap those labels on your packages, and it's amazing. I know you guys all have Rollos over there. Yeah, it really, if you are going to be serious about this business, I highly recommend a Rollo printer. Highly recommend it. I do have an affiliate link down in my description. They won't let me give a discount anymore, which really sucks. But I mean, I appreciate if you use my link. I get a little tiny bit back from them for marketing them. But I would, whether they gave me anything or not, I would tell you the Rollo is the dream printer. Yes. Can you use a Rollo printer from a cell phone? I don't think so. know how some of you do this entire business from a cell phone. I can't. I need my computer and my monitor and my printers hooked up. Like I'm not even really a laptop girl. Like, yeah. In 15 words or less, what is box in a bag? So Anne, I just went through it, but basically box in a bag is you pack a box, you put it in a bag, and you get a cubic rate priority shipping versus a I don't know what non-cubic rate is, but it is just it is a huge cost savings. All right, let's see. How I ship plush. Plush goes, I wrap plush in tissue paper if it doesn't have any like little plastic eyes or anything. If it's got any kind of like plastic eyes or anything that needs to be protected, it does go in bubble wrap. And then that goes in a poly bag. The poly bag I just threw on the floor. Poly bags, poly bags. I ship all plush in poly bags. Yeah, the thermal printers are not wireless and won't work with your, yeah, they're not wireless. Yeah. When are postage rates going up? Oh, media mail. Let me just touch on media mail. Media mail is books. I believe video games still qualify. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Music like CDs, records, not magazines. Nothing with advertising can go media mail. But it was really made for books, for heavy books, and it's a really big savings for media mail, but it's a very, very slow service. Keep that in mind. Media mail can take weeks because it gets the lowest priority going onto the trucks and or airplanes to get where it needs to go. So it's low man on the totem pole when it comes to getting things where they need to go. Sheet music, yep. You use a bag bigger than you have to use a bag bigger than the box to fit the box in. And there's an 18-inch cutoff for box in a bag. So 18 inches is the largest bag and 20 pounds is the heaviest. I shipped FedEx 20 pounds at $19, but I was charged over $30 for 20 pounds. The FedEx and UPS, they add a lot of surcharges. There's a lot of little extra fees that they tag on. So sounds like maybe that, especially if it's going to a residential. Because UPS and FedEx were mainly designed for business to business, and then they got the residential market. But for the residential market, they started attaching special fees, little surcharges, they call them. Yeah, don't use media mail for eBay sales during fourth quarter. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I just use a digital scale. Just I buy mine on Amazon for like 25 bucks. Okay, let's talk about the rate increase. Here's from Pirate Ship. They've got it all spelled out here. So again, everybody's getting their little piece of the pie. USPS, because it's going to get busy, we got to charge more. October 3rd to December 26th, no matter where you buy your postage. So it's not just a Pirate Ship thing. Prices are going up. And here are the increases. First class, 30 cents increase for all weights and zones. The cubic is going up. It's by the zone, 25 cents for zones 1 through 4, 75 cents for zones 5 through 9. Flat rates are going up 75 cents. That's the boxes and the envelopes. Then you've got your priority mail and such, and there are your increases. Really, most of us fall within these first two. So it's 25 cents to 75 cents. And you know what? It is what it is. No reason to complain about it, vent about it, be mad about it, because it is what it is. And it's going to happen, and hopefully your sales far outweigh the cost of doing this business. Just make sure you can see the scale under. Yeah, you need a scale. Like if you ship a lot of big stuff, then you're going to want a bigger scale that you can see. They make scales, like if you do a lot of large boxes, they make scales that are, they have like a, what do you, like the part where the weight is, it comes up on like a post and is up at a different level than the box versus the ones where you just lay the box on it. Say I want to ship an Afghan already in a clear plastic zipper pouch. How could I use a trash bag? Just have a very strong trash bag. Now, again, you still have dimensions. So I would get that Afghan down as small as you can. And so inside that plastic zipper pouch, I would plastic zipper pouch that thing so tight around that you can use the smallest dimensions that you can. Don't make it super big. And then just do your cubic weight. Your scale has a separate box on a spiral cord to show the weight. Yeah, that's handy too. That's nifty too. Okay, did I miss anyone's questions? What burning question in our last 3 minutes have I not answered? Especially those of you who have seen shipping as scary and have not started selling because you're scared of the shipping. I really want to get you past that. Like, what can I answer for you? What can we say to get you taking that leap? Because I'm telling you, you will make mistakes in shipping. You will. We all do. I still make mistakes in shipping. It happens because it is a pretty confusing thing. It's pretty complex. But it's not the big scary beast that you think it is. Just the worst case scenario is it either costs you more money or something, heaven forbid, breaks in shipping and you just got to like handle it with the customer. But the only way you learn is to jump in and start doing it and make those mistakes, because those mistakes are the greatest way for you not to make that mistake again. The greatest way. FedEx versus USPS, what weight limit? Live in California, never used FedEx. I use FedEx for items that go into the oversize. Like if it's over 12 cubic inches, for me, usually FedEx is going to be the best option. And I'm in Nevada, California, probably the same thing. So check the FedEx rates on oversized items. It's because it's not about the weight limit. The weight, it's really, most of us ship things under 5 pounds, and we can get all that done with USPS pretty easily. It is those dimensions, and I can't stress that enough. It's the dimensions are what will mess you up on a big item. It's not the weight, it's the dimensions. If it goes over that 12 by 12 by 12 or that whatever combination thereof, you're going to get what's called dimensional weight, which means it can weigh 3 pounds, but they're going to charge you for like a 20-pound package because of the size. So it's more about that size. Is global shipping automatic, or do we have to sign up for it? You have to put it into your listings. You do have to select that you offer global shipping program in your listings. I don't have a computer. Oop, jumping comments. I don't have a computer. I'm computer illiterate, and I've talked to many sellers that say they still sell strictly from their cell phones, so I have no idea how they do that. So number one, you are not computer illiterate because you're here typing in a chat on a YouTube channel. So don't send yourself that message. A lot of us do some really negative self-talk. I mean, I'm guilty too. But you're here, you're talking, you're asking questions. You are not computer illiterate. No matter how you're getting here, you're using a computer, whether it's your phone computer or a computer, you're here typing. And that means you can learn things and you can figure things out. So there you go. Shipping artwork. Yeah, so I have a whole playlist called Get Ship Done. And I don't even know how many videos, because I used to make weekly videos. This was when I couldn't go out shopping because we were all locked in our houses. So I was doing shipping videos. So every order that I did, I was shipping on video, everything from big old artwork to first class items, jewelry, to big fragile pieces of glass. It's all there in that playlist. You can see exactly how I do it, and I talk you through it as I'm doing it. So that's probably the best way to explain how I ship art. And big expensive art, I actually take it over to like the UPS store and I pay them to pack it, because they've got the boxes, they got the little inserts that keep things safe and everything. And then for insurance purposes, I can say it was professionally packaged. So if something does happen, I'm really protected because I have paid to have it shipped, packaged. And it usually costs anywhere from $20 to $30, depending on the size of that package. But if you're selling $1,000 piece of artwork, $30 ain't nothing. All right, everyone. I think covered a lot of it. And thank you, Bree, for sharing the link to the Facebook group. We are over there. There are lots of experienced sellers that can help you with these questions. And if you're unsure of something, you can post it over there, ask the question, and we can keep you from making some of the mistakes. We can help you through some of the mistakes if you make them. And we can really just support one another, because I get it. This is the toughest piece of selling online, is all the crazy shipping stuff. But don't let it be so daunting that it keeps you from making the amazing amounts of money that are possible in this online selling world. I love it so much, and because it's freedom. It truly is freedom. And I want everybody to experience that if they want to. You have to want to, though, because it is hard work. And thank you to my moderators over there. Several of them have their own channels. They are welcome to post those links over there in the chat for you as well. Actually, I think Julia's getting ready. She's probably already gone live and is doing, she does a live sale right after I do this on Mondays, but she comes the hour before her live sale to come and help in my chat, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all of my moderators. They're volunteers, and love you guys. Thank you so much. And I saw you had to handle some stuff today, and I appreciate that so much. So with that, everyone, go be profitable and make it fun. And we will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.